The question that terrifies everyone. Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that the skills you've spent years developing are no longer valuable. Your employer doesn't need you anymore. Not because you failed, not because someone else worked harder, but because a machine can now do your job faster, cheaper, and more accurately than you ever could. Just a few years ago, this sounded like science fiction. Today it feels increasingly real. Artificial intelligence is writing articles, creating art, answering customer questions, diagnosing diseases, and even writing software. Every week seems to bring a new breakthrough that pushes the boundaries of what machines can do. As AI becomes more capable, a frightening question is spreading across the world. What happens when machines can perform not just physical labor, but intellectual labor as well? For centuries, humans have believed that our intelligence made us unique. We built civilizations, developed technologies, explored space, and created cultures because we could think, reason, and innovate. But now we are creating systems that appear capable of doing many of those same things. Some experts warn that millions of jobs may disappear. Others predict entire industries will be transformed beyond recognition. And for many people, the fear goes deeper than employment. If AI can think, create, and solve problems, what role is left for us? Are we approaching a future where human beings become economically irrelevant? Or are we witnessing the beginning of something entirely different? To answer that question, we first need to understand why this technological revolution is unlike anything humanity has ever experienced before. Why AI is different from every technology before. Throughout history, technological revolutions have always created fear. When steam engines appeared during the Industrial Revolution, workers worried that machines would take their livelihoods. When computers entered offices, many believed administrative jobs would vanish forever. And in many cases, those fears were partially justified. Millions of jobs did disappear. Yet history also showed that new industries emerged. New professions were created and society adapted. The difference today is that previous technologies primarily replaced human muscle. AI is attempting to replace aspects of the human mind. A bulldozer can move more dirt than 100 workers, but it cannot make strategic decisions. A calculator can perform complex equations instantly, but it cannot understand context or intent. Modern AI systems are different because they can analyze information, generate ideas, recognize patterns, and make recommendations that often rival human performance. For the first time in history, humanity is building machines that compete not with our physical strength, but with our cognitive abilities. This is why the AI revolution feels fundamentally different. The challenge is no longer limited to factory workers or manual laborers. Accountants, designers, programmers, lawyers, marketers, journalists, and even medical professionals are beginning to feel the pressure. Tasks that once required years of education can now be completed in seconds by increasingly sophisticated algorithms. What makes this transformation even more dramatic is the speed at which it is happening. Previous industrial revolutions unfolded over decades. AI capabilities seem to improve every few months. New models appear, outperform older systems, and quickly become integrated into businesses worldwide. Companies are under enormous pressure to reduce costs and increase efficiency. If an AI system can perform the work of several employees at a fraction of the cost, economic incentives make adoption almost inevitable. This raises a critical question. If AI continues improving at its current pace, which jobs will survive and which ones are already beginning to disappear? The jobs already disappearing. Many people imagine the AI revolution as a future event, something that might happen 10 or 20 years from now. The reality is that it has already begun. Across industries, businesses are quietly restructuring workflows around artificial intelligence. Customer service departments increasingly rely on AI chatbots capable of handling thousands of inquiries simultaneously. Content creation teams use AI to generate articles, marketing copy, social media posts, and product descriptions in minutes rather than hours. Graphic designers now compete with image generation tools that can produce high-quality visuals almost instantly. Software developers use AI coding assistants that dramatically increase productivity, allowing smaller teams to accomplish work that once required entire departments. Even in fields once considered highly specialized, AI is making significant advances. Medical systems can identify certain diseases from scans with remarkable accuracy. Financial algorithms analyze markets faster than any human trader could. Legal software can review vast quantities of documents in a fraction of the time required by junior attorneys. The common pattern is clear. AI excels at tasks that involve processing information, identifying patterns, and producing predictable outputs. This does not necessarily mean entire professions disappear overnight. More often, individual tasks within those professions become automated. But over time, when enough tasks are automated, fewer people are needed to perform the same amount of work. This creates a profound shift in the labor market. For businesses, greater efficiency means higher profits and lower costs. For workers, however, it creates uncertainty. Many jobs that once provided stable careers are becoming vulnerable. The concern is not simply that some occupations will disappear. It is that AI may automate work faster than society can create new opportunities. And if that happens, we may find ourselves confronting a future that some thinkers have warned about for years. The rise of a new social class defined not by poverty, but by economic irrelevance. That possibility leads us directly to one of the most controversial ideas in the entire AI debate: the rise of the useless class. For centuries, economic value determined social value. If you could produce something that society needed, whether through physical labor, intellectual work, or specialized expertise, you had a place in the economy. But what happens when machines become better at producing value than most humans? This is where the debate becomes truly unsettling. Some thinkers have warned about the emergence of what they call a useless class. Not useless in a moral sense, but economically unnecessary. Imagine a world where AI systems can perform the majority of productive tasks more efficiently than people. Companies would naturally choose the cheaper, faster, and more reliable option. As a result, millions of individuals could struggle to find meaningful roles within traditional labor markets. The concern is not merely unemployment. Humanity has survived unemployment before. The deeper concern is irrelevance. If machines can generate wealth without requiring large numbers of human workers, how will wealth be distributed? Who benefits from the productivity generated by AI? History suggests that technological revolutions often create enormous winners and losers. Those who control the technology accumulate vast resources, while others struggle to adapt. In an AI-driven economy, the concentration of wealth and power could reach unprecedented levels. A small number of corporations may own the algorithms, infrastructure, and computing power that drive the global economy. Meanwhile, millions of people may find themselves disconnected from the traditional relationship between work and income. This possibility has led some economists and technology leaders to discuss ideas such as universal basic income, where citizens receive financial support regardless of employment status. Yet even if society can solve the economic challenge, another question remains. If people no longer need to work, where will they find purpose? For generations, careers have provided identity, meaning, and social status. Removing work from the center of human life could transform society in ways we can barely imagine. But before we assume this future is inevitable, we need to examine a crucial question. Can AI truly replace everyone? Could AI replace everyone? At first glance, the answer may seem obvious. Every month, AI becomes more capable. It writes, speaks, creates images, analyzes data, and even performs complex reasoning tasks. Looking at this trajectory, it is tempting to assume that human labor is simply approaching its expiration date. But history teaches us that technological progress is rarely that straightforward. Every major innovation initially appears capable of replacing people entirely, yet reality tends to be more complex. Airplanes did not eliminate travel jobs. Computers did not eliminate office work. The internet did not eliminate commerce. Instead, they transformed industries and created opportunities that were previously unimaginable. The same pattern may emerge with AI. While artificial intelligence is extraordinarily powerful within specific domains, it still struggles with many aspects of real-world complexity. Human environments are messy, unpredictable, and constantly changing. The real world contains incomplete information, conflicting priorities, emotional dynamics, ethical dilemmas, and unforeseen events. Humans navigate these challenges naturally because we understand context, culture, and meaning. AI, despite its impressive capabilities, remains dependent on data, objectives, and constraints defined by people. More importantly, human societies are built on trust. People often prefer interacting with other people, particularly when decisions involve emotions, relationships, or significant consequences. A parent wants reassurance from a doctor. A business leader wants confidence in a strategic advisor. A customer values authentic relationships with brands and communities. These dimensions of life extend beyond efficiency. They are rooted in human connection. Therefore, the future may not belong exclusively to AI or humans. Instead, it may belong to those who learn how to combine the strengths of both. The one thing AI still can't do. When discussing artificial intelligence, most conversations focus on intelligence itself. We compare processing speed, accuracy, memory capacity, and problem-solving ability. But there is one area where humans continue to possess a profound advantage: meaning. AI can generate answers, but it does not understand why those answers matter. It can create a painting, but it does not experience beauty. It can compose music, but it does not feel joy, sadness, nostalgia, or hope. It can simulate conversation, but it does not experience friendship, love, sacrifice, or grief. Human civilization is not built solely on intelligence. It is built on meaning. Every great work of art, every scientific breakthrough, every social movement, and every act of compassion originates from conscious beings seeking purpose in their lives. This may ultimately be the defining difference between humans and machines. Intelligence alone is not enough to create a fulfilling society. Meaning gives intelligence direction. Consider some of humanity's greatest achievements. They were not motivated purely by efficiency. People explored unknown continents because they were curious. Scientists pursued discoveries because they wanted to understand reality. Artists created masterpieces because they sought to express emotions and experiences that could not be reduced to data. Even when AI becomes capable of performing many tasks better than humans, it may never possess the intrinsic motivations that drive human existence. Machines can optimize objectives. Humans create objectives. Machines can execute plans. Humans decide which plans are worth pursuing. This distinction suggests that the future value of humanity may not lie in competing with AI at tasks machines perform well. Instead, our value may lie in defining the goals, visions, and purposes that guide civilization itself. The future. Nobody is talking about most discussions about AI focus on competition. Humans versus machines. Workers versus automation. Society versus technology. But what if this entire framework is wrong? What if the real future is not about replacement, but integration? Throughout history, every transformative technology eventually became an extension of human capability. The wheel extended our mobility. The telescope extended our vision. The internet extended our access to knowledge. AI may become the ultimate extension of human intelligence. Imagine scientists solving diseases decades faster than before. Imagine personalized education systems adapting perfectly to every student's needs. Imagine engineers designing sustainable cities with unprecedented efficiency. Imagine creators producing films, books, and experiences that were previously impossible to imagine. In this future, AI is not replacing humanity. It is amplifying humanity. The individuals who thrive will not necessarily be those who compete against machines. They will be those who learn how to collaborate with them. Adaptability, creativity, emotional intelligence, leadership, and curiosity may become the most valuable skills of all. The winners of the AI age may not be the smartest people or the richest people. They may simply be the people willing to evolve. So, will humans become useless in the age of AI? The answer depends entirely on how we respond to this moment in history. If we resist change, ignore technological progress, and cling to outdated ways of thinking, many people may indeed find themselves left behind. But that does not mean humanity itself becomes obsolete. Every major technological revolution has forced society to redefine what it means to contribute, to create, and to thrive. The AI revolution will be no different. The real danger is not that machines become smarter than humans. The real danger is that humans stop adapting. Artificial intelligence will almost certainly transform jobs, industries, and economies. Some professions will disappear, others will emerge. Entire categories of work that do not yet exist may become central to the future economy. Yet throughout all of these changes, the qualities that define humanity will remain essential. Our creativity, our compassion, our imagination, our ability to dream about futures that have never existed before. AI may become the most powerful tool humanity has ever created. But a tool, no matter how powerful, still requires a vision. And that vision must come from us. The future is not about humans becoming useless. It is about humans discovering new ways to be valuable in a world transformed by intelligence beyond anything we have ever known. The question is not whether AI will change the world. The question is whether we are ready to change with it. What do you think? Will AI lead humanity toward its greatest era of progress? Or are we walking into a future we don't fully understand? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for the next deep dive into the technology shaping our future.